My name is Glenn Martin. I'm the founder and president of Just Leadership USA. I've been working in the space of criminal justice reform for about 13 years. I actually started after exiting prison in New York State, where I served 6 years. Landed at an organization called the Legal Action Center. Went from doing administrative work there to being the policy analyst and ultimately the co-director of their largest policy initiative called the National Hire Network. And from there, I worked on collateral consequences and then moved into the space of decarceration. Just Leadership USA has a goal of cutting the number of people in prison in the United States in half by 2030. So much of our work is around decarceration. How do you shrink the entire system, including probation and parole, which have actually grown alongside incarceration in the United States. And we believe that it'll take a very strong moral argument to get America to reverse its direction in terms of punishment and incarceration. And so we do so by building the leadership capacity of people who've served time, people who've been involved in the criminal justice system, to be in the driver's seat around criminal justice reform efforts. At Just Leadership USA, we think it's important for people directly impacted to be in the lead in the reform movement because, one, we have criminalized and incarcerated so many Americans. We have 60 million Americans with a criminal record on file with criminal justice repositories. That's a pretty significant portion of the American population. You wouldn't have a conversation about veterans issues without veterans at the table, or gay rights without gay people at the table. And so we think it's important that the people who are most impacted by our current policies and who have the most stake in the outcome of reform to be at the table and to be there in a meaningful way. We're a membership organization, so the hope is by 5 years out, we have over 1 million people in our membership. There's 60 million Americans who've been involved in the criminal justice system. Those are not the only people that we hope to be in our membership. We hope to have any American who realizes that our current criminal justice system is probably the most significant domestic threat to our democracy. But we hope to have a robust membership in place by 5 years out. We hope to have trained a couple hundred leaders, so people who've been involved in the criminal justice system who are now part of the solution, working around the country to push for decarceration. So we will hope to have not only trained those couple hundred leaders, but have them be part of a network that relies on each other for support in their work. And we hope to do a better job than the field is currently doing of helping Americans to better understand these issues. So we want to spend a lot of time talking to audiences that are not the choir, if you will, really challenging Americans to think about how our criminal justice system as it currently exists impacts them in their daily lives, and how it cuts against all of the rhetoric we have about who we are as Americans, and how it actually denigrates our standing with the rest of the world. We have 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's prison population. And that is not something to be proud of. And so we hope that the average American recognizes that and stands with Just Leadership USA to do something about this problem.